visitors, easing the congestion and parking challenges facing Port Antonio. The Boundbrook, with deliberately placed service clusters to create synergies among its tenants and users. The project will be a joint venture partnership with return on investment coming through sales, lease, and rentals. The Boundbrook, fulfilling the mandate of Factories Corporation of Jamaica to achieve the Government of Jamaica's economic growth and job creation agenda by providing commercial and retail space for a variety of industries.
Building wealth the smart way means you have a clear mission for your money.
Please stand for the playing of the national anthem. At this time, we welcome Pastor Alvin Johnson of the Fair Prospect New Testament Church of God with the opening prayer.
Okay, to our Honorable Prime Minister, Member of Parliament, and all stakeholders, greetings. Agree with me as I pray. Our Father and our God, we thank you for this afternoon that you have given us this privilege to come together in this fashion, Lord, to celebrate your goodness. Lord, we acknowledge that there is none like you. There is none to compare to you. You are King of kings and you are Lord of lords. And so into thine hand we commend our bodies, our souls, our spirits, and everything concerning us, because we know we belong to you. And so this evening, God, as we have gathered, Lord, to this groundbreaking ceremony in which, oh God, your servants have come to the understanding, Lord, of the need of your children in this way. God, to build this community, Lord, in which they will be better ministered to. I pray, Holy Father, that your divine hand of grace and mercy will rest upon this, oh God, this initiative. And I pray, God, that you allow that your blessings overtake every stakeholder's, God, and allow that this project never fail. And even, oh God, for this evening's proceedings, as we commit it into your hands, we pray that everything that will be said and done here, Lord, will be to the honor and to the glory of your name. We commit, oh God, this proceeding to you, because we know that only you we can put our trust in and know that all is well through all times and seasons. And so, Holy Father, we pray that your divine anointing that breaks every yoke will rest upon your children, so that, God, as they seek to fulfill your purpose, God, in this great initiative, that nothing will derail them, nothing will hinder this purpose, but God, that your divine blessing will overtake them, God, and according to the time span which is allotted, God, that things will be done and complete, oh God, so that your name will continually be glorified in this, our Jamaica land we love. Because we would have seen your hand at work, and we know you have been doing it all this time. And so, Father God, for this, oh God, community that will be built, we pray, God, that your divine hand of protection will rest upon it, that no natural disaster or anything, God, the enemy will devise, will cause it to fail, but that your blessings will overtake us in all our endeavors. Spirit of the living God, be with us for the rest of this afternoon as we commit this evening proceeding in your hand, and we tell you thanks for your presence and your blessings upon us all as we ask these mercies in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen.
Amen. The Most Honorable Andrew Holness, Prime Minister, who also holds the portfolio ministry under which the FCJ sits. The Prime Minister is on his way. He has asked us to proceed. He has recognized the heat, so we thank him. A great leader recognizes that we have to shift things. Representing the Leader of the Opposition, Mr. Colin Bell. Ministers of Government present, the Honorable Darrell Vaz, Minister of Science, Energy, Telecommunications and Transport. Senator, the Honorable Aubin Hill, Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce. We recognize the Members of Parliament present, Mrs. Anne-Marie Action Ann Vaz, Member of Parliament, Eastern Portland. Mr. Robert Bobby Montague, Member of Parliament, Western St. Mary. Chinese Ambassador to Jamaica, His Excellency Ambassador Chen Daojiang, and other members of the Diplomatic Corps. Councillor Rohan Vassal, Deputy Mayor of the Portland Municipal Corporation, today representing the Mayor, His Worship Mr. Paul Thompson. And fellow councillors of the Portland Municipal Corporation. Custos Rotulorum of Portland, the Honorable Lincoln Taxter. Our Permanent Secretary present, Mrs. Arlene Williams, Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation. Also recognizing our partners in the Boundbrook project, Mr. Littleton Tanny Shirley, Chairman of Factories Corporation of Jamaica, who will shortly be the Honorable Littleton Tanny Shirley, as he will be bestowed with the nation's third highest honor in October. Mr. Shirley, Honorable Shirley. The Honorable Michael Lee Chin, Chairman of the National Commercial Financial Group and the Godfather of Portland. Also in attendance from NCB, Bruce Bowen, CEO, National Commercial Bank, and Angus Young, CEO, NCB Cap Markets. Our partners, Barita, Chairman Mark Myers. And we are shortly expecting Executive Officer of Barita, Ramon Small Ferguson. We'd also like to welcome the Charlestown Maroons, who have been entertaining us. Directors, managers, and the hard-working and dedicated staff of the Factories Corporation. And very, and most importantly, the residents of the Portland communities near and far. Members of the media, we welcome you. Other distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. When they say Portland hot, Portland is on fire. Welcome to this groundbreaking for the Boundbrook Urban Center. My name is Rochelle Cameron. I'm a director of the Factories Corporation of Jamaica, and I will be leading you through today's proceedings. At this time, I'd like to welcome Councillor Rohan Vassal, Deputy Mayor of the Portland Municipality, to bring welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. I think Madam MC, Rochelle Cameron, had said it all, so all protocol is observed. Why am I nervous? I don't know. Maybe it's because of all the distinguished guests, maybe the lovely ladies, maybe, or it is a major development which is happening here in Portland today. I think so. So Portland residents, Portland MPs, every stakeholders can give yourself a round of applause. The Mayor, Paul Thompson, is unavoidably absent, and he sent his best wishes. Permit me to express my profound gratitude for the honor and privilege of participating in this function today, not only because of its applications for the overall development of Port Anthony and the rest of the parish, but also because of the significant enhancement it promises to bring to the aesthetic appearance of this town as we continue with our quest to reposition it as a major destination for tourists and other visitors. Ladies and gentlemen, it is well-known fact that the road to national development is a development of communities, and this project, which is being introduced here today, will on completion play an important, infinite role in the town and its environs. It will also make better organized and efficient the services currently provided by a number of government agencies and business organizations operating in the space. Under this project, the Boundbrook Industrial Estate will be redeveloped into an international business complex where there will be an amalgamation of services provided by a number of government agencies and private sector agencies. As the Mayor of Port Anthony, which I represent here today as the Deputy Mayor, I am very excited and expectant about the project, and the Portland Municipal Corporation is fully committed to playing its part to ensure its successful implementation as well as the maximization of its positive impact on the communities when it becomes operational. How can I say this? No amount of accommodations and expressions of appreciation to Prime Minister Most Honorable Andrew Holness, the Government of Jamaica, and the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation is too high for taking the initiative to implement steps in the advancement of government's policy to effect economic growth and prosperity in communities island-wide. This project, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, will go a far way in the appeasing not just the Port Anthony residents, but many persons from other communities of the parish who well felt a long time that Portland has been neglected in respect of developmental opportunities. On behalf of the Portland Municipal Corporation, I extend heartiest congratulations to the Factories Corporation of Jamaica and the National Insurance Funds for combining their resources and efforts to formulate this project, which will not only be a game changer in respect of service provision in Port Anthony, but will also serve a major catalyst for a long-term development of our parish. His Most Honorable Prime Minister Andrew Holness May you and this government continue the good work, bringing love and prosperity to this parish and all Jamaicans, and always remember, God is the wind beneath your wings. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Deputy Mayor of Portland, Councillor Rohan Vassell. We feel the welcome, Deputy Mayor, and we know Portland has long felt neglected, but now it seems all roads lead to Portland. Big things are going on Portland. And today is the ultimate Portland experience. I know those who were driving down from Kingston, when we saw the shores of Portland, we said, what a place, pretty. Jamaica, nice. So today we'll get the opportunity to experience the best of Portland through food, art, and culture. We will have entertainment and cultural pieces from the Charlestown Maroons, the Port Antonio and Boundbrook Primary Schools, and the Port Antonio High School. Very importantly, we encourage you to visit the Artisan Village at the end of the program, where you will see about 9 of our small businesses in Portland on display. Today we have with us our partners, FCJ, Barita, NCB Cap Market, our hydration partner, Lifespan, government entities, National Housing Trust, National Works Agency, Postal Corporation of Jamaica, Passport, Immigration and Citizenship Agency, Social Development Commission, Rural Agricultural Development Authority, and Heart Trust NTA. So it seems like Portland is shifting. There's a little balance over here. So if you feel that you're tilting, everybody there Portland today. So please give yourselves a round of applause. At this time, it gives me great pleasure to welcome the very dedicated, hard-working taskmaster, Littleton Tanny Shirley, soon to be the Honorable Littleton Tanny Shirley. So today we call him the Honorable Tanny Shirley. He serves as the chairman of the Factories Corporation of Jamaica and has championed the development across Jamaica. Morant Bay Urban Center, ground has been broken, construction is going on, and today, Portland, we break ground. Please, a very warm, loud, roaring, welcome applause to the Honorable Littleton Tanny Shirley.
Work with me, work with me. Boundbrook has the bus. Everyone say, Boundbrook has the bus. Master of Ceremony, my fellow director, Rochelle Cameron. Give her a round of applause. She's known as Jamaica's Miss Personality. Prime Minister, who I hear is about to arrive, let me use the opportunity to welcome him. I want, because my speech starts to be short, I don't want to undo that beautiful welcome of our Master of Ceremony. But it would be remiss of me not to point out my few friends. Ministers, government, I see my good friend Aubin Hill there, Minister Darrell Vaz, the hard-working Mrs. Anne-Marie Vaz, my good friend, Honorable Michael Leachin. We speak and message WhatsApp almost every day. So, friend, I see my good friend Mark Myers, and my new friend, Ambassador Chin, right? And I also see Barita, new CEO and head honcho, Mr. Ramon Ferguson. Big up everybody. It would hard for me not to start out to say I greet you all and I greet you well. It is indeed a pleasure to be here today. A very proud chairman of Factories Corporation of Jamaica Limited and chairman of the new formed company, Boundbrook Urban Centre Limited, to break ground for this very, very important development. In fact, this is Project 2.0 of our mandate from our portfolio minister and Prime Minister, the Most Honourable Andrew Holness, best known as the visionary and the builder. Please give him a round of applause, even that he's not here as yet. 5 years ago, in 2019, I had the privilege to be at the groundbreaking ceremony for the Mark Bay Urban Centre in St. Thomas. I know the media is here, and it has been the center of influence, not only in Jamaica, but in the wider world, the diaspora, who have so many Jamaicans living abroad. The Mark Bay project is the brainchild and vision of our Prime Minister to create a new urban centre concept that would facilitate a one-stop for both public and private sector businesses, the first in its kind in Jamaica. These entities would allow to operate in a facility where there is discipline, social order, security, and efficiency in not only how private sector does business, but how the public sector ought to be doing business. The Prime Minister's vision is for these entities to be housed in cutting-edge facilities that will be and can be replicated all parishes serving the people of Jamaica. It took a little while to get off the ground because we had to ensure that all the regulatory approvals were in place, and I have all my head of agencies here, and let me give them a round of applause. They have been very supportive. We had to have all the I's, as you know, were dotted, and the T's, as you know, were crossed. Then came COVID-19 pandemic, and it happened. Live and direct, it happened. But I'm proud to say that the Mark Bay project is now 70% complete. Big us everybody. We had a project completion date of September 24, but due to a delay, the new completion date is December 2024 for the Mark Bay Urban Centre. What caused the delay? Hear it from the horse's mouth first. We experienced an issue with the impending relocation of the JPS substation, which is located on the site. This caused the delay in construction activities and floor blocks of buildings. Is the Prime Minister here now? Can we officially pause and have me, please, welcome him. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand as we welcome the Most Honourable Andrew Holness, Prime Minister.
Check.
Ladies and gentlemen, we just pause as the Prime Minister exits his vehicle and makes his way to the tent. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Most Honorable Andrew Holness, Prime Minister of the island of Jamaica.
Prime Minister, the Honorable Andrew Holness, we previously welcomed you, Prime Minister, and said quite a lot of good things about you. I would love to repeat them. But I know, you know, what we all know. You are the visionary. You are the builder. And you are the man behind the plan to make Jamaica a better place and to make Port Antonio transition into communities for a better quality of life. So, I was on the point of the success of Morant Bay. And on the point that we are a few months, 3 months late because of the JPS issue that we had there. The Morant Bay Urban Center project is a blueprint of what is happening here today. Let me admit that the Morant Bay project has been a lot of work. It has been very fulfilling to see where we started and where we are now. A project nearing completion. A project that will be the blueprint for all parishes across Jamaica to adopt, not only in Jamaica, but in the Caribbean. This has made our job to create the Boundbrook Urban Center much easier, Prime Minister, because we are following the same blueprint to create a facility that is now conducive to the Portland and its people, transforming communities. So while we have our foot on the gas, we are not easy now. Our attention is on the Boundbrook Urban Center project, which carries a total development cost of 4.2 billion Jamaican dollars. We want to ensure that it is completed within the 24-month construction period and its 2.7 billion construction budget to be completed within budget and within time. Give us this. Using the analogy of Morant Bay project, I must also admit that it is an organization we first had to believe in this project. We had to believe that it will transform the lives of the residents of Portland through economic growth and job creation. And today I can stand proudly here with the mandate of our Prime Minister to say that check, 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 all boxes ticked. We had to also had our equity partners, NCB and Barita, believe in the project, along with CIBC, our loan financing bank. Let me congratulate NCB and Barita for their commitment to nation building. They are the bank of the future. They are the bank of today. They are the bank wanting Jamaica to be a better place. I can today report as well that take-up for the project now stands at 110%. We are talking about government entities and educational facilities, financial institutions, private sector entities such as fast food, fine dining, gaming, pharmacy, medical facilities, legal services, beauty salon, and so much more. The Boundbrook Urban Center is the second of its kind locally. It is the collaborative effort spearheaded by Factories Corporation of Jamaica with equity partners Barita and National Commercial Bank Market Limited through financing by CIBC Caribbean. Mr. Prime Minister, ladies and gentlemen, our urban center has been a testament to the power of partnership and innovation. Fused with the skill, negotiation, and choice of sound integrity and competence amongst our stakeholders. FCJ has continued to forge strong investment partnership with the private sector, driving economic growth, creating jobs across Jamaica. These collaborations are vital for providing support small businesses need to overcome challenges. What individual needs to secure jobs and what communities need to transform their economies. When we were doing our market research, Prime Minister, we found that doing business was a challenge in Portland. We are talking about inadequate space, inadequate parking, traffic congestion, and the lack of accessibility for the physical challenge. We want, with your mandate, Prime Minister, to improve on those challenges that unfortunately seek to divide our country, for which our Prime Minister is adamant to resolve. So the Boundbrook Urban Center will be a one-stop shop offering the services of the government and private sector in one location while adhering to all concerns of our residents. Here we'll have the offices of the Portland Municipal Corporation. We'll have the tax office and other government services merged with BPO entities. We want to make this Boundbrook Urban Center a must-stop as part of the ultimate Portland experience. I must say that in acknowledging the efforts of FCJ, most importantly, I must recognize the work of Parliament, Mrs. Anne-Marie Vaz. She has been persistent in her efforts and energies to make this project a reality. And I want to emphasize today that it's not just about FCJ mandate, but it's equally her vision of what she wants Port Antonio to become. I also want to thank our Honorable Prime Minister, or Honourable Minister Darrell Vaz, who has also worked diligently and consistently to make this project a reality. I shall further want his vision as we look at phase 2 for the second development in Port Antonio to also be a reality. I want to recognize them with a special round of applause. Give the Vazes a round of applause, please. I must also stress that the builder, the Prime Minister, the visionary, making all these things possible, his astute and immeasurable contribution to this project has been the driving force in making the Boundbrook Urban Center a reality. Applause to the Honorable Prime Minister, please. I want to extend a big congratulations to the FCJ directors, FCJ management staff, FCJ staff who is hosting this event today. I want to congratulate the event planners led by Davin. I want to congratulate Czech, who did the ground preparation site in record time. I congratulate them, please, with Boundbrook has the bus. I must admit that while attention is now being placed on this project, our eyes are also focused on two other developments to commence shortly. They are the Nagahead Integrated Business Center in Portmore, that is Project 3.0, and the Boundbrook Urban Center Project 4.0, which is just across the road and lands belonging to the Jamaica Railway Corporation. Mr. Prime Minister, FCJ, thank you for the confidence you have placed in us as you transform lives and communities across Jamaica. God bless you, sir. God bless you, and God bless us all.
Thank you very much, Mr. Shirley. As he said, Boundbrook have a buzz. And if you know Mr. Shirley well, you will know that it is very difficult for him usually to encapsulate all his thoughts in a short speech. So he recognizes the heat of today, and we give him another round of applause. The hardworking team from the FCJ, the very committed chairman, and as he pointed out, there's a lot of work being done as we build this nation. At this time, we welcome a man who has been committed to nation building. He has returned to Jamaica. He returned to his home parish of Portland. And years ago, he told us the vision of Portland, that Portland is the place that everybody shall want to go. And he started development here. And today, as a part of NCB Financial Group, as the chairman, putting the money behind the development, ladies and gentlemen, the godfather of Portland, the Honorable Michael Lee Chin.
This is the most emotional moment for me, personally, because on January the 5th, 1951, when I was 2 days old, my mother, who is an orphan, and who, when she had me, she was 18, and she was unemployed. So, if you behind, up the hill there, there's a Port Antonio hospital. And she had no job. She was adopted. She and her son were adopted by the helpers of the local supermarket here in Port Antonio. And she walked with her child from the Port Antonio hospital past this site. And past this site, past that beautiful building, glance to your left, please. Glance to your left. Past that beautiful building and walked another 100 yards to her adopted home with her son, Michael. So my first home was Boundbrook. So to come here today is an emotional moment. And those who made it successful, Prime Minister, thank you. Chairman, Tanny Shirley, Honorable Tanny Shirley, thank you. Minister Vaz and Marie, thank you. Minister Vaz, Darrell, thank you. Minister Aubin Hill, thank you. All other Chairman Myers for being an equity partner, thank you. Thank you very much. My dear mom would never believe what she's about to see. So thank you very much for being in Port Antonio, and specifically Boundbrook. As I said, well, in 2005, there's a beautiful courthouse, a historical courthouse in the town of Port Antonio. City of Port Antonio. And this beautiful townhouse, a historical Victorian building, was burnt out. So it was laying derelict in the city, in the middle of the town. So I went to Mr. Tony Hilton, another godfather to Port Antonio, who was chairman of the Port Authority of Jamaica at the time. And I said to Mr. Hilton, sir, this building is a magnificent edifice. Well, it's just lying derelict. Please, would you allow NCB to renovate it so it becomes a truly historical heritage building? And what we will do is, would you give us a piece of land outside of town in Boundbrook to build a modern-day courthouse that will be of the quality that if you lifted it up and parachuted it into Washington, it would look as if it belongs there. So take a look at what you see. So, Boundbrook, and now today we're here witnessing the expansion. And by the way, the reason for doing that then, 2005, was to shift the center of gravity of Port Antonio, because there was no parking there in the city for a courthouse, and the development was coming. So we wanted to shift the center of gravity, so we came to this no man's land called Boundbrook and built this magnificent edifice. And one of the reasons for building it is because when you come into Port Antonio, you don't expect it. You bust the corner, the Norwich corner, that corner up there, and you see this magnificent building and say, oh my gosh, where am I? Am I in Washington? Am I in Denmark? No, you're in Port Antonio. So what we wanted to do also, build an edifice that every citizen of Port Antonio, every citizen of Jamaica, to say, you know what? I don't have to accept local standard. What was then local standard? I don't have to accept that. I can aspire to world-class standard. That's the reason why that building, we can parachute it into any city and it will look like it belongs. So it's an inspiration. It was built to be an inspiration to uplift standards of expectations of our citizens. That was so two reasons for building it. Uplifting standards of expectations of who we are. And secondly, to shift the center of gravity of Port Antonio, because growth was coming, and growth is now here. So thank you very much for all of you being here today, to contribute to this moment. My mom would not believe what she said. Well, she is seeing it. So thank you very much. And Tani, I really appreciate the energy you've put into these projects, because without that energy, the execution would not have happened. So we are behind you. NCB is 100% behind you. And we just appreciate what you have done. You are moving Jamaica forward, and that is what this project represents. It represents a public-private partnership, because that's the only way we can together build a better Jamaica. Thank you very much.
Another round of applause for the chairman of the NCB Financial Group, the Honorable Michael Lee Chin. And as Mr. Lee Chin says, the center of gravity moved from Port Antonio, but it appears that the center of gravity for Jamaica has moved to Portland. And ladies and gentlemen, he may be prophetic. We will soon say the city of Port Antonio. Another round of applause at... Now, this project would not be possible without our equity partners. We've heard from the FCJ, We've heard from NCB Financial Group, and another critical entity in the development of the Boundbrook Urban Center is Barita. Barita making money work for you through their hardworking CEO, Mr. Ramon Small Ferguson, who is here today and will bring his greetings. A round of applause as we welcome Mr. Ramon Small Ferguson.
Most Honorable Prime Minister of Jamaica, Mr. Andrew Holness, Ministers of Government, Members of Parliament, our partners, the FCGA and the NCB Financial Group, represented by their chairman, Mr. Tani Shirley, and Sir Leachin, who just departed. A very hard acts to follow, right? If nothing, at least I'm a little taller than both of them, right? My own chairman, Mr. Mark Myers, friends, distinguished guests, good afternoon. I want to start by congratulating the government of Jamaica and the Factories Corporation of Jamaica under Tani's relentless leadership, as was described, as well as us as private sector partners for this project coming to fruition. I mean, when I first came into this industry over a decade ago, a project like this would have been a dream. It would have been a pipe dream. And I couldn't have gone to any of my approval bodies with this vision, right? But we're in a different Jamaica, a starkly different Jamaica. I mean, the fact is that our country has evolved before our eyes over the last 10 years or so. I mean, it's been an amazing transformation. We can't take lightly what has happened with respect to the significant and precipitous fall in our debt over the last 10 years, right? And what that has done is set Jamaica up in a way that is enviable to really now start to tangibly lift the quality of life of every Jamaican, right? And this is an example of that. And let me explain. Jamaica is now poised to receive significant investment, right? From the government of Jamaica, who now has capacity because it has so much less debt. From the private sector of Jamaica, who now has the confidence to partner with the government to build this country. And from onlookers overseas who are excited by what we have been able to do here in Jamaica and what we plan to do and are eager to invest. And Minister Hill will tell you about that, right? From the business ministry. Now, one thing that is not well known by some Jamaicans, but is well known by our counterparts in the region and is now spreading like wildfire all over the world, is how amazing our framework is for public-private partnerships, right? We have an enviable, well-structured framework to enable collaboration between the government and the private sector, right? And that's something that we should celebrate, right? And even within that very well-built framework, what the Factories Corporation of Jamaica has been able to do with this particular partnership is very special, right? It's in some ways very unprecedented. And it's going to unlock, as was described by Tanya when he spoke, an investment of over $4 billion, right, into the real economy, connecting with the lives of people here in Portland and, by extension, the broader Jamaica. Right? And I want to applaud the FCGA for that work. Now, what are the benefits of this urban center? I mean, I've seen the design. It's going to be very beautiful. It's going to complement the courthouse very well. But it's going to be a center of tremendous economic activity. There's going to be job creation. It's really going to be I think, the bedrock of significant community development in this area. Right? There is a saying, they say, build it and they will come. This will really be that center of gravity that will pull activity to this area. Right? It is a blueprint. Right? It's the second of its kind, but as Tani described, when he was saying it's 2.0, it means it's not only the second one, but it's an improved version of what was done. Right? And this is necessary to move us into the future. Right? Now, as Barita, we were very excited to be a part of this project. I mean, we pushed hard and worked alongside the FCJ and the NCB to really bring things to where they are today. And we are happy to report that this aligns very well with our ultimate mission and vision of transforming the lives of ordinary Jamaicans through our work. Right? And how do we do that? Of course, there is the direct outreach through our Barita Foundation, right, which focuses on the areas of education and community development. We're also very focused in how we invest, on making targeted investments in the real economy, right? And this is one of them. We are going to be the largest single shareholder of the Boundbrook Development Center Limited, right, with a 40% shareholding. We also focus very heavily on being creative with our financing to complement the traditional financing that's available in the banking sector. I mean, under the leadership of our Senior Vice President, Investment Banking, Therese Kettle, who is in the crowd, over the last 5 years, we've been able to unlock almost $1 billion in capital to our customers. And a lot of that has ended up right back in the real economy to make projects like this possible. Like everybody else here who has braved the heat to come out, we are committed to nation development. We're not just saying it, we're mobilizing our efforts behind it, right? And, you know, it's our objective to transform lives, yes, but we really want to do that through creating value for our customers, for our team members, and ultimately for the wider society, right? So in closing, I want to thank you guys for joining us here today. It is a momentous occasion. I am very excited, and I hope that the burning sense of pride that I feel for this national achievement, because it, again, is a blueprint, right? It's step 2 of many. It really emanates around the room. I hope that we all feel that pride. And I hope as well that in our own lives we are inspired by all of the creativity that went into bringing this to fruition. And, you know, it inspires us to think outside of the box, to see how we can move the needle forward with our respective mandates and, you know, in our respective lives. So thank you very much again, everyone.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ramon Small Ferguson, CEO of Barita Investments. And as he outlined, build it and they will come. Mr. Ferguson is very tall, and what he described is a very tall investment in Portland as 40% shareholder in the Boundbrook Center. So at this time, we've seen how beautiful Portland is. We know the development that is coming to Portland, and you're asking yourself, what about the talent of Portland? And now we're going to showcase some of the talent of Portland from the Port Antonio primary. Their piece is Blessings Medley, and it received the highest gold at the parish level in the JCDC music competition and went on to the national round. After which, we'll hear from Boundbrook Primary. The title of their piece is More Than Conquerors, an award-winning dub poetry. It received the Gold Award at the 2023 JCDC Commission's music competition at the parish level, and it's written by their teacher, Samantha Hardy. Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome the future of Jamaica, Port Antonio Primary and then Boundbrook Primary.
Boundbrook Urban Center. Investment, job creation, economic growth in a Portland. A big, big move from civil little space. The center just up, nice up the place. No square foot of land. Government office 14 when you can. Private business, post new look. The business center gone down in the book. Go so. Go so. The new Boundbrook Urban Center. Go so. Go so. The new Boundbrook Urban Center. Go so. Go so. The new Boundbrook Urban Center. Go so. Go so. The new Boundbrook Urban Center. Investment, job creation, economic growth in a Portland. A big, big move from civil little space. The center just up, nice up the place. No square foot of land. Government office 14 when you can. Private business, post new look. The business center gone down. The new Boundbrook Urban Center. The new Boundbrook Urban Center. Go so. Go so. The new Boundbrook Urban Center. Go so. Go so. The new Boundbrook Urban Center. Boundbrook have a buzz. 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 Boundbrook have a buzz.
Boundbrook have a buzz. Boundbrook have a buzz. It goes to Boundbrook Urban Center. It goes to Boundbrook Urban Center. Ladies and gentlemen, another rousing round of applause for the students of the Port Antonio Primary as we welcome the Boundbrook Primary School to the stage. for the Boundbrook Primary School, More Than Conquerors. Isn't it wonderful to see the young talent coming out of Portland? And in another few years, they will be chairpersons of FCJ. Prime ministers are in the house, MPs are in the house, and they will remember today, More Than Conquerors, where Boundbrook have a buzz. At this time, we welcome a conqueror himself, the Honorable Darrell Vaz, Minister of Science, Energy, Telecommunications, and Transport. And interestingly, he was the portfolio minister at the time that the Boundbrook project came up. And in his inimitable way, he said, Tani, no bother with the long talking. Make we get this thing done. Ladies and gentlemen, the conqueror of Portland, the Minister of Science, Energy, Telecommunications, and Transport, the Honorable Darrell Vaz.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Honorable Prime Minister Costas, all of the big neck people that are here. Welcome to you all. Special welcome to Tani Shirley, the chairman of FCG, and his team, without whom we would not be here, along with his partners that have financed this project, NCB and Barita. So as Member of Parliament for one of 4 constituencies in the East, meaning St. Thomas and Portland, and the only minister on the eastern end of the island, I'm proud to be here at the groundbreaking ceremony for the Boundbrook Urban Center. This administration, under the leadership of Andrew Honis, has placed greater attention and directed more capital investment and infrastructure upgrades in Portland and St. Thomas than any other administration in the history of Jamaica. And you know, ladies and gentlemen, the reason for this is not political, it's economical. That's the difference. And I come from a standpoint where I'm not going to talk about Boundbrook because everybody has spoken and will continue to speak about it. I'm going to speak about my journey, which started in 2007 when I became Member of Parliament for Western Portland. And when I came to Portland in 2007, Portland was known as a forgotten parish. Both Portland and St. Thomas, when you mention the 2 names, people laugh and say, where that is? And you still have road for go down there? That's a fact. And I took my time and I have worked assiduously to be able to stand here today and speak about some of the meaningful achievements that Portland has benefited from. I want to indicate very clearly that it is easy to have a vision. That's the easiest part. It is executing that vision and connecting the dots, which is why I'm going to repeat what I've repeated several times before. There is no prime minister that has had a vision, and all of them in the past that have been able to connect the dots where you can see the meaningful changes as you drive around Jamaica, the length and breadth of Jamaica. I want to say that I was a lonely man in Portland between 2007 and 2019. Because at that point, I was the only JLP representative. And I don't know what got into my wife that decided after coming on the campaign trail with me in Western Portland that she was going to go to East. Well, the rest is history. Because from 2019, when she won the by-election after the unfortunate death of my friend Linford Bloomfield, she has not looked back, and she is unstoppable. And if I say so, you must know it's true. Now this lady is so passionate about Portland that from the forgotten parish, there is nowhere that I go in Jamaica that people who have visited Portland and who have not visited Portland don't know about Portland. They know every single solitary thing that's happening in Portland and all the good things that are happening in Portland. So, Prime Minister, from 2007, when I came here as the forgotten parish, the only thing we had here at that time was the marina, which was built in 2003. And that was the extent of it. Some people call it a white elephant. Bottom line, Prime Minister, is that the government investment in infrastructure in Portland, and let me start and remind people, because people's memories are short, that we have spent over $150 million through NHT to upgrade our old housing schemes that were built decades ago, where the infrastructure was at zero. All of the government housing schemes in Portland have been upgraded. Who remembers the police station where when you used to walk up the stairs, you have to pray so you don't drop through the floor because Chichen it out 40 years ago? The Port Antonio police station, $150 million for a new headquarters in Portland and another $115 million in Buff Bay for a new police station, not to mention that every police station in Portland under Minister Montague and Minister Chang have been upgraded from Mansion Hill all the way to Spring Hill in the Buff Bay Valley. Let us talk about roads, Prime Minister, because I will remind people in here today things that they forget. The South Coast Highway Road Improvement Program, the road aspect of it is $47 million US. That is 10 billion Jamaican dollars on the last two packages we are doing now, Prime Minister, out of 6 packages. We never did infrastructure alone, we did water too. The water component from Hector's River straight into Port Antonio is $22 million US, $3 billion, a total of 10 billion Jamaican dollars in one parish. Not all the other upgrades that NWC has done and National Works Agency has done and the MPs have done through their Constituency Development Fund. Technology, which falls under me, we have spent $42 million to give public Wi-Fi in Port Antonio and 12 other community Wi-Fis in the parish of Portland. Tell me which other government or member of parliament ever do that? But I don't stop there. Through MP Anne-Marie Vaz, the HAJ is about to start 45 acres in Norwich to do 100 service lots to sell to people who want to remain living in Portland and work in Portland. The National Housing Trust is doing 790 residential lots right at Pasley Gardens so that Portland people can leave school and work and live in the parish rather than having to migrate and come back. That is what you call join up government. That's what you call vision. And that's what you call implementation. But we don't stop there, Prime Minister. The big problem that I have had from 2007 till now is that we have done a lot. Housing and employment has been the problem because people want to be able to work and live in Portland. They don't want to go to Another Bay or to Port Maria and come back. The distance to drive, the expense to board, all of that. So those were the two missing pieces, because Portland traditionally has been tourism and agriculture. Yes? So what you find now is with the Boundbrook Urban Center, with 65,000 square foot out of the 140,000 square foot of BPO. I called the president of the BPO Association this morning, and I said, work with me a little bit. 65,000 square foot, how much jobs does that equate to? Because you know them have a template. Said 1,300 jobs. That's not to do with everything else in the Boundbrook, you know, which is estimated at 3,000 jobs. 1,300 jobs. I said to him, give me the salary scale from an entrant at the lowest level to middle management upwards. And he gave me the figures. And he says that at the entrance level, you will earn between $1 and $1.5 million a year without bonus and incentive. You work your way up the ladder, and you can get to $2 to $2.5 million in middle management. And you can go all the way to $7 million as a start if you go up the ladder. So let me tell you something. For me, after, how much is that now? 17 years. Wow. 17 years as member of parliament. Give me a round of applause for that. I never ever remember. Yeah, it's aging me now. Undefeated. Undefeated. But soon to go home. That's the important part. Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot tell you what today does for me as somebody who likes to see the dots connected. And the fact that I know that those graduates from Titchfield and Happy Grove and Port Antonio High are going to have an opportunity to take a transportation or walk to work in Port Antonio because jobs will be available is music to my heart. The fact that I know that lots are going to be sold in Norwich, which was a failed government scheme. I won't tell you who failed it, because up to now there's no infrastructure in there. People build a lovely house and have to drive on all sorts of roads. No drainage, no sidewalk. That is going to change because your member of parliament, Anne-Marie Valls, has dealt with that. So you are going to see the commitments, because we as politicians in Portland don't make promise. We make commitments. And I can tell you that Mrs. Anne-Marie Valls, as soon as it is approved, will have some big announcements to make in relation to new projects, not what I spoke about before. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am just going to say, Prime Minister, no matter what them say, your work shows for it. And I am proud to be a minister of government in your administration. It is a pleasure to work with you and for you, because you know why, PM? You get it. You get it. Others talk about it, but you get it. So we have work to do, and you can rest assured that I'll be right beside you with Bobby Montague and the rest of them, Arbin, because we have unfinished work to do. And I am imploring the Jamaican people gathered here, whether you are from Portland or not, think about your country first, because this administration is going to take us from poverty to prosperity. Thank you very much. I'm going to play a song for you. And you're not going to believe it, but I thought of it last night. Music man, run it for me.
our Redeemer, saving grace. I know I'm not worthy to see your face. I try hard, but I make mistakes.
Ladies and gentlemen, another resounding round of applause for the Honorable Darrell Vaz, the man of commitments. And ladies and gentlemen, 17 years as MP for Western Portland. Please, another round of applause. We are seeing the development. All roads lead to Portland. And as we talk about all roads leading to Portland, there is a lady who is well known as, you know, those people that get up in the morning and they can't wait to go to work. They love their work. Talk about commitment to Jamaica. Talk about the lady of action. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome MP Eastern Portland, Mrs. Anne-Marie Vaz.
My East Portland, I want you to put your hands together and give the Prime Minister of Jamaica and our special guest a big round of applause. And then I want you to clap on yourself for coming out here and being a part of this historic day. On April 16, 2019, I took my oath of office as Member of Parliament for my beloved Portland Eastern constituency. But my love for Portland began long before, as I've been a resident here for over 21 years. And my commitment to this parish will continue long after I have left representational politics. Portland for decades have suffered from lack of representation, resulting in lack of development and lack of attention towards public services. We have started the process to change that, and you are all here today witnessing a part of the change with this historic development. The unprecedented multi-million-dollar road improvement taking place is the catalyst for this. There is so much potential for our small businesses. We have started the process to improve that. As you come in, you would have noticed that exceptional local products on sale. Your support to them today means that from the get-go, this project will be providing economic benefit to our people. There is so much potential for our youths. And let me pause here because I want to speak directly to my youths. Now is the time to upskill, the time to get certified, as this development is already providing jobs and will bring hundreds more during construction, and as you heard the minister just said, afterwards with new and expanded businesses that will be operating here. This Michael Andrew-led Honest government has provided the vehicle for upskilling through hard trust, free of cost up to associate level 4. So there's no excuse for you not to be certified in preparation for the opportunities to improve your lives and make your dreams come true. I want the trend of my people leaving Portland to go elsewhere to seek economic benefits, because I need all of you here to build Portland, the most beautiful parish in Jamaica and the safest parish in Jamaica. There are so many beautiful attractions that can boost the economy. So we have started the process to improve them, especially fixing roads to ensure access so that the spotlight remains on them and shine even brighter. Mr. Prime Minister, Boundbrook have a buzz. Portland have a buzz. There is a burning desire for our beloved parish to receive the infrastructure and investment needed to maximize our full potential. This 148,000 square feet project is a game changer. This development will open doors for businesses and employment opportunities while addressing some serious challenges that we have that were mentioned before, such as traffic congestion, lack of adequate parking, and accessibility for disabled and elderly. Chairman, I am happy to hear that there have been overwhelming interest to acquire space in this development. We are happy for the new business to come and expansion of existing businesses here. Growth, we say. So for me today, I am proud to stand here representing my people, breaking ground for a legacy project that will, without a doubt, change the lives of residents and boost the economy. Can someone say transformational? Because this is definitely what this project is. Today, I feel like a woman giving birth to a child she has nurtured in her tummy for 9 months. Only in my case, it has been 5 years, Chairman, that I have been trying to give birth. I understand, Chairman, that we had to get this thing right because it will be a template for other parish development. This development is part of a master plan, and we Portlanders are not into any chaka-chaka, so we have to get it right. But as you see now, our foot is on the gas. We are going to do road to ensure that this Boundbrook Urban Center is completed on time and within budget. And let me tell you something. I have no doubt that this will happen because the pace at which this place was prepared in the last 2 weeks for this groundbreaking is nothing short of shocking, to say the least. I commend FCJ, the action team, my East Portland family members, China Harbour, and all who are involved. Gavin, Kunte, for letting us be here today. You cannot imagine what this place looked like 2 weeks ago. They called me. We want to thank this Andrew Michael Holness-led government of Jamaica for this vision and for investing in our people and our parish. This is action in motion. We are working assiduously for our collective prosperity. They call me action, and for a reason. Construction is going to start. Employment is happening. Economy is growing. My people and I are overjoyed, Mr. Prime Minister. Special thanks to my action team led by Dwayne Stevenson. Without you, my team, there's no me. Thank you all for coming, especially my Prime Minister, and for being a part of this historic day. I might add before I close that this parish is my Prime Minister's favorite parish. He don't want to say it out loud more time, but I can say it for him. And I say Bobby Montague right there, he would not miss this because enough time him spend in Portland, officially and under the quiet. The by-election have created a family outside of Portland and they have never left. Many come here under the cover of night and some come in the day, but they have never left Portland since 2019. This parish is the place to be. This parish, the beauty alone is enough. So, press gas because Boundbrook have a buzz. Thank you.
Woman want good love. You sympathize. Woman want good love every night. Right now. You have a girl. Ali. Step up. I love her. Action. That's about the mood. So we. Don't be ready to them go go. Action. That's about the mood. So we. Don't be ready to them go go.
Action, not a bag of mouth. MP Bobby Montague, I see you WhatsApping action and to say what I nothing that. No chaka chaka in Portland. Transformation. And as we continue this ultimate Portland experience, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome the talented students of the Port Antonio High presenting their award-winning JCDC cultural performance. Please put your hands together for the Port Antonio High School.
Tell me the month where donkey can call. January, February, March, April, May, June, July. Tell me the month where donkey can call. Tell me the month where donkey can call. January, February, March, April, May, June, July. She fall. She fall.
Wilo, we little but we wile yo. Ladies and gentlemen, the Port Antonio High School. The way Portland people talented. Portland, it beautiful, talented, it's safe. I don't know what you're gonna do. Action and we now go home. We're gonna move to Portland. So often we look beyond our shores to describe visionary leadership. But as a Jamaican people, we get to experience and live history where we have a visionary leader, a man of commitment. He has committed to building out infrastructure in Jamaica. Consider it done. He has committed to digitizing Jamaica. Consider it done. He has committed to providing housing, educational opportunities, and economic growth. And we get to live in a time where Jamaica is experiencing unprecedented economic growth. We do not need to look beyond our shores. Right here, we have a great leader, a visionary leader. And ladies and gentlemen, as we get to our feet to welcome to the stage the most honorable Andrew Holness, our Prime Minister.
Thank you very much, Rochelle, for that rousing welcome. I need to have you do that at another place. First, let me commend the performances. I've been to many events, as you can imagine, and I've seen many school performances. And oftentimes, quietly, I reserve my disappointment because the performances don't live up to what I expect. It's not the students' fault. It's the cultural direction. It is the interpretation and the translation of our culture into action. And sometimes it is without depth. Sometimes it is performed without any talented consideration, without passion. It's not uplifting. But every performance that has graced this stage here today is a gold medal winning performance, a true representation of our culture. And I am impressed. And so I give my commendations to the performers, but I also give commendations to the teachers and the cultural directors. It is a reflection of Portland's continued preservation of what is good about Jamaica. There is something special about Portland. And it is not just the rarefied air, the proximity of your townships and residents to the sea, the beautiful, lush and verdant landscapes and hillsides. It is the people. Something special about the people. And as I drove through St. Thomas, coming in, a member of my security detail who is from the parish, he said to me, Prime Minister, as these roads are being developed, I don't want them to change the character of Portland. A very profound statement, because roads and infrastructure means access. And access means different perspectives different people, different behaviors, different norms can come into the space and change the nature of the area. So I know that there are many Portlanders who welcome the development, but are concerned that the development, the infrastructure could change the nature of the place. This administration understands the nexus between infrastructure and culture. We understand the nexus between infrastructure and the economy. We understand the nexus between infrastructure and the security. And therefore, whatever we do, we have these considerations in the forefront of our minds when we develop policy. There is one other critical element that we must consider: the nexus between infrastructure and climate. So I want all Portlanders to understand that you have a thoughtful government that is not just eager to lay asphalt and widen roads and have people come in to this space and utilize this space. We are very cognizant and understand that infrastructure must improve the quality of life. So as I entered the town of Port Antonio, I would have been corrected if Michael Leachin were here. He would say city. We're not quite there yet. But as I entered the town of Port Antonio, and I saw the traffic in the town and the people moving about, bustling about, and I'm looking on their faces, everybody trying to get to their destination, make ends meet, the inconvenience of having to step off the sidewalk to walk in the middle of the road, to hop and skip garbage that may be in the road, a pothole, avoid a car. And I see the misery and inconvenience and frustration on the faces of the citizens. I see it as well when I stand in the motorcade in the roof of my vehicle, waving to people as I go by campaigning, and I see the eye contact, the hesitation. I like to see a Prime Minister, but the condition. The condition. And the experience of that condition, regardless of how I may feel that I'm achieving something, I'm doing a road here, a road there, a park here, new buildings, but my condition has not changed. And I am frustrated because I've heard promises before. I have heard sweet-talking politicians many times over, but my condition has not changed. And when I stop and I shake hands and I am embraced, and they say, "We love you, Prime Minister, we love you, God bless you," but the condition hasn't changed. It has been 40 years that the condition has been the way it has been. Portland is, as a parish, 300 years old. Portland as a parish, 300 years old. Port Antonio was about 1793, thereabout, don't quote me on it, but in the 1700s, the town of Port Antonio was established. And you know what was the basis of the town, why it developed? it developed as a port town because of the banana trade. Sugar to a lesser extent, but mostly the export of banana and other fruits. And then it got further impetus as basically the first town of tourism in this region, in the Caribbean, really. And we have some historical tourism gems in this region. You know, my understanding, of course, that this is the birthplace of the famous British secret agent. Yes. I'm not talking about Bobby Montague 007. I'm talking about James Bond with Errol Flynn, who developed this fictional character. So Portland has great roots and has contributed significantly to national development and indeed internationally as well. So it is time for the administration to pay attention to Port Antonio, to Portland, and to this entire eastern end of the island, St. Thomas, Portland, and St. Mary. Now, how do we do this? The first thing that we needed to do as an administration is to ensure that we have the resources to respond. And that meant that we had to settle the fiscal issues. And I use this big word, fiscal. In simple terms, we needed to have settled the flow of public revenues to sustain a long-term investment profile. The challenge with Jamaica is that we did not, for the last 50 years, settle the flow of public revenues sufficient to sustain long-term investments in infrastructure. That was really our issue. So we couldn't take on projects that had a long horizon for return. And I give you a perfect example. We built a marina here. I believe that was in 2003. 2003. What was the intention of the marina? It was to spark tourism and get some investments into the area. But that by itself wasn't enough. The government needed to have had the financial wherewithal to sit down and plan a full infrastructure rollout for the infrastructure investment to be meaningful in transforming the lives of people so that people can say, yes, this infrastructure is going to make the quality of my life better. So one isolated investment by itself is not going to do it. Which is why people still look at these investments and say, will it really make my life better? Because of the experiences that they have had. But what is different now? What is different now? Well, let me tell you what is different now. What is different now is that the government has made a massive investment to improve 147 kilometers of road linking Port Antonio directly to Kingston. So from Harbour View, come all the way around, you're going to have the best quality road. Number one. And it is not merely asphalt. This is what we call a utility corridor. Underneath that road are massive pipelines to carry water, fiber optic cables to carry internet, and we have realigned and upgraded the electricity utility service along the area, in addition to massive civil works investments in retaining walls, drainage, and other such works to protect the road. It's a massive undertaking. It is the largest road infrastructure development that we have undertaken in Jamaica. Stop for a moment and think that this is not a greenfield project. We could have decided to just find a new corridor for the road. We could have decided to do that. Run the road in the hill. But what would have happened if we did that? It would have killed off all the towns and residences on the old road. And then what would have happened? It would be hard to justify having built a new road, spending money to improve the old one. We decided as a government that the intention of the investment is to improve the economic and social circumstances of the people where they exist. So we have made the investment keeping the old alignment as much as possible running through towns. Now that comes with its own challenges, because it's not easy to build a road that people live on. The inconveniences, the problems, all of the issues that come with it. But strategically, it is important to keep the economy of the parishes going. But, as I said earlier, we also have to consider the nexus. So that is a nexus between infrastructure and economy. But we also now have to consider the nexus between infrastructure and climate change. The historical development of our infrastructure, particularly our roads, is that they are developed to connect ports. So they run along the seashore, the coastline. And so they are always susceptible to environmental challenges. So what have we decided to do? Two things. First, those roads that have been in existence since 1793 or whenever Port Antonio was established, they have developed economic value, but they have also developed significant touristic value. Beautiful scenery and access to the beach. So we developed those for the long-term benefit of tourism. But we are also developing, as I speak, a bypass for Port Antonio that will be in the hills, which will run behind here, go through the hills for $75 million US. It is almost now going to public investment approval. Well, I believe it is at public investment approval now. And that road will take off much of the traffic that is not here for sightseeing, is not here to go into the town. They want to get about their business. So those can take the bypass road. But that bypass road is built for resilience because we have moved it off the shore. And therefore, we are giving the town of Port Antonio the opportunity to breathe. So you won't be taking traffic that is passing through or don't have business here. That bypass road will ultimately continue through the hills and connect to the 14 kilometers of road between Yallas and Harborview. So you're going to have essentially two roads. One, the main road that will carry heavy traffic, heavy volume, get you to where you're going quickly. And one, the more scenic route. that is for the tourism economy, which we intend to develop, coming all the way from St. Thomas, coming all the way around into Port Antonio. That's the vision, that's the long-term strategy. And every year we are building towards it. But we need to do one other thing. Having built the road, we now need to build buildings that are suitable for public use, built for purpose. And that is what we're doing, not just here in Port Antonio, but we have done it in Portmore, where we are building out the Bernard Lodge project, a massive project of over 10,000 housing solutions and an urban center. And that is underway. You can go there and see what is being done. We have done it, not talking about it, we have done it in Morant Bay. I passed it today, couldn't stop. I looked over there and I can tell you, it is coming along nicely. An entire new township, the first that we have built a township in maybe 100 years or more. The Morant Bay Urban Center. And now we're doing this small urban center, 6.68 acres of land. It will have the municipal building. It will have other government entities plus private facilities. It will be linked with the courthouse and I believe with the examination depot. I believe you have some more lands that you're looking to develop. But there is, my friends, a master plan. So this is not a chaka-chaka development. And I can tell you that because we were trying to avoid chaka-chaka-ness, it took longer than we wanted. Because as we had already completed the plans for this, I announced some other plans for Port Antonio as a whole. And I brought in a world-famous architect and urban developer. His name is Gordon Gill, a Jamaican. This is a man who has done designs for new cities in China and Saudi Arabia, Toronto, Dubai. And he's saying, I want my country to look like these places. And we brought him in, and they have done a massive development plan for the entire waterfront of Port Antonio, specifically looking at the lands owned by the Port Authority, the UDC, and other government entities. Portland is set for massive developments, but they're not going to be high-intensity, high-density developments. No, we specifically want to avoid that. We are going for high-value, low-density development, including the development of the East Harbor into a cruise shipping port. And all of that is being planned. So we are not just doing one little development and expect that one little development to spark and be the catalyst for new development. No, we have a well-thought-out, coordinated plan backed by the resources to sustain long-term infrastructure investment without interruption. That is what is different. So to my friends who expect that in one election cycle, what took 10 election cycles to create, which is the disinvestment in your infrastructure, meaning that from the building was built or the road was laid, nothing else was done. So the infrastructure is there. What do you think happened? No matter how pretty you build the house, after the first 5 years, it starts to depreciate. And if you don't invest in it, it will eventually fall down. And that is why Jamaica's infrastructure looks the way it looks. Jamaica, more than other Caribbean countries, had an earlier start in the development of our infrastructure. We had a new Kingston long before Trinidad had Trin City. We had high-quality roads long before many of the other Caribbean countries. But if you were to shoot a music video and you're looking for high-quality backdrop infrastructure, you're going to have to search hard to find it in Jamaica. Because the infrastructure has run down over the last 50 years. Because we didn't have the fiscal wherewithal to sustain a long-term program of infrastructure investment. That is what is different with this government. But it is hard to communicate that to someone who for 50 years has experienced deterioration in their infrastructure. My challenge is to convince people that the government is doing the correct thing in making the infrastructure development. And the only time that they're going to be convinced is when they see it happen. So you wonder why it is that we spend so much time on a ceremony like this. It's very important. Because if there is ever a disruption in the plans that have been laid to give Jamaica that uninterrupted long-term runway of projects, we will go back to the period when the fiscal arrangements are blown, when people who don't have an understanding of infrastructure and development take policy and lead us back down the road of destruction. So it's very important that I communicate to the people what it is that we're doing. And these are not just words. Go and tour the road from Harborview, come all the way around to here and see the transformation. Go and look on the Montego Bay bypass and see the transformation. Travel on the East-West Highway from Maypen straight into Mandeville and see the transformation. Go to Bernard Lodge and see the transformation. Come to the Morant Bay Urban Center and see the transformation. Go to Portmore and see the transformation in the Resilience Park. Go to St. James and see the transformation that has happened with Harmony Park. And this is all happening all at once. When has that happened in Jamaica? I challenge the critics. I challenge the naysayers. I challenge the purveyors of negativity. When? If there is any criticism, is that we are doing too much. It is an obtuse and perverse logic that a government that is doing what it's supposed to be doing is being criticized. And I know when I speak this way, there are a lot of people that are squirming in their seats. They can't take it because they can't take the truth when the truth is told. But a lot of people feel it's politics time. I don't ready for politics time yet. We will campaign on our record of performance. And what I am busy doing is building. Whether it is a social house where a family has been improved, a housing scheme house where someone who is earning minimum wage or a little above that can purchase, or we are building new roads, bringing in new buses, bringing in new garbage trucks, building new ports. We are the government that is building Jamaica. We understand infrastructure, and this project will not be the last one. I see members of the private sector are here. We incorporate the private sector in these plans because we believe in the democratization of wealth, meaning that government mustn't own up everything. Bring in the private sector, and we said to the private sector, sell shares to the market. Make the average man can say him own a piece of it. So we have a few more of these to go. We have 50 acres of land in Falmouth. Falmouth is a town that is exploding under the same pressure, and we are going to do another urban center, planning an entire new town in Falmouth. We have another 40 acres of land in Negril. We're going to do the same thing. We have lands in Old Harbour. We're going to do the same thing. We have Hopewell in Hanover, which is a bottleneck. We have put that as a priority, where we're going to build an entirely new township of Hopewell. So this government is serious about infrastructure development. We understand that infrastructure is going to change your life, improve the quality of your life. So for my brothers and sisters who have been frustrated for decades, who have not seen anything new happen in their built environment, who have to struggle through traffic, congested roads, dirty streets, and buildings that are inconvenient, I say to you, keep patience with the government. The plans are in place, the finances are in place, the technical skills are being put in place, and the programs are underway. We will fulfill the dream of Jamaica as the paradise, the developed country, the place of choice to live, work, raise your family, do business, have fun, and retire in paradise. God bless you. I love you.
Thank you very much, Prime Minister of Jamaica, Honorable Andrew Holness. He has taken us on a journey to see the nexus with infrastructure, economic growth, and development. What a great time it is to be a citizen of paradise, a place where we want to live and raise our children and do business. Portland, you've heard from the Prime Minister, big things are going at Portland. And the big things continue today with the actual groundbreaking of this Boundbrook Urban Center. And the groundbreaking will be led by our Prime Minister, and he will be accompanied by His Excellency, the Chinese Ambassador to Jamaica, Chen Daojiang, Mr. Angus Young, CEO NCB Capital Markets, one of our partners, Mr. Ramon Small Ferguson, CEO of Barita Investments, Honorable Tani Shirley, FCJ Chairman, Mrs. Vaz, and our Deputy Mayor, Mr. Rohan Vassal. Ladies and gentlemen, in addition, our MP reminds us that the Custos Rotalorum of Portland, the Honorable Lincoln Taxter, is here, and he will also be accompanying the groundbreaking. So the groundbreaking is going to take place to my immediate right. Remember, Boundbrook have a buzz. And ladies and gentlemen, we withstood the heat today, but we will remember the day we were a part of history. We're a part of the development of Jamaica. We're a part of the future of this great nation. Please, as we exit the tent and go towards the groundbreaking, I ask that we allow the Honorable Prime Minister to lead the entourage. He will be joined by Mr. Angus Young, Mr. to the right. And ladies and gentlemen, please be reminded that as we break bread, We will break ground and we will break bread after we break ground. Please visit our artisan village and purchase from our small business owners and enjoy the ultimate Portland experience. It is time to break ground.
I tell Naomi that she now go see the island and run a bucket to see what she wants to see. But show the camera in that side. Which one looks better? Eh?
All right.
Straight ahead first.
Can we have everybody shovel at once, please? Following the Prime Minister. Thank you.
All right. So everybody, shovel in the ground. Somebody has some sand on the shovel. All right. We're going to lift and hold.
Look at the cameras.
And pretend to smile. And then turn to the right. Turn.
One more.
One
more
time. Alright, one more time. So they get some dirt on it.
No, man. Can't come up.
Get some dirt on it. Stand on it. Lift. Look at the camera. Tend to smile. And turn to the right.
And 4. Good stuff.
Very good.
Oh, hey!